Why confidence and self-esteem matters when you talking to girls, man. What's good with y'all young boys, man? It's your boy Ron Glow. We finna touch on a very detrimental topic, if I must say so, man. We finna talk about why confidence and self-esteem matters when you talking to girls, man. All I ask is that you like the video, you subscribe if you're new. And yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Let's get straight to it. Okay, so first thing first, the reason why confidence and self-esteem matters, bro, is because if you lack one or the other or both, then anything that a woman says out of her mouth or anything that a woman does can affect you, and a lot of dudes cut themselves short because they lack confidence. They lack the confidence to go approach a woman, or they might lack self-esteem, meaning like if a woman rejects you, you feel less of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So confidence and self-esteem is very important, bro. And when you're talking to a woman, how you feel about yourself affects almost everything you do. It affects your eye contact with her. It affects your voice, like how you projecting your voice, your posture, your sense of humor, your body language, and how you ultimately handle her response. So that's very important. Like if you have low self-esteem and you have negative self-talk about like your approach with women, then anything a woman does or anything she says can affect all of those things I just named. It can make you have a weak posture. You might be projecting your voice not in a good way. Your body language could be thrown off, and then women, they pick up on things like that. They can sense things like that. And if you're a shy dude that lack confidence, then you're gonna get shorted because women will pick up on that, and they don't like that. They're not attracted to dudes that lack confidence. Women want confidence. They want a confident man. So that's all it's really about, bro. And then another thing, confidence and self-esteem are related, but they're a little different. Confidence is saying, I trust myself to handle this interaction with a girl. Self-esteem is saying, whether she likes me or not, I still know my worth. And really self-esteem is way more valuable in that sense, because confidence, you know, anybody can get confidence. You can get confidence in a short burst of time. You can get confidence just out of nowhere. You can be like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Self-esteem, however, is way valuable and way harder to maintain because a lot of dudes can have confidence, but they have low self-esteem, you know, and that'll be like getting rejected by a woman and you feel less of yourself, or a woman makes a joke about you or talks about you in a negative way, or she does something that you don't like and you let that dictate how you feel about yourself. So if you have a low self-esteem, that's something that you should aim to improve way more than confidence, because confidence can come naturally when you have a high self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that. When your self-esteem is solid, you're less likely to approach a woman thinking, I hope she thinks I'm good enough. Instead, you also figuring out, do I actually like her? Do we click? You know what I'm saying? So that changes your whole energy when it comes to talking to women. We have low self-esteem. You're trying to appease them. You trying your best to prove to her that you're the best guy, and everything you do is basically from a pleasing point. You just trying to people please, and you just trying to make it seem like you something you ain't. So you got to have that high self-esteem. You got to have that, when it comes to talking to women, and why it makes such a difference. When you lack confidence, you may overthink. What should I say next? Did that sound stupid? Is she losing interest? Should I impress her? That can make a conversation feel forced. And from a guy who's been in this predicament, that had low confidence, low self-esteem in my earlier years and my upbringing coming up, bro, this was something I struggled with. Like, I used to always overthink. Stuff when it came to girls, like, especially when I was younger, bro, because it's like I just never knew like what I was doing. Was it right? Was it wrong? Was it like, I just never felt like things was natural for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big thing, bro. When you lack confidence, you will notice if you lack confidence, you'll tend to overthink everything you do when it comes to talking and interacting with a woman. You should aim to just be a genuine person with good energy. Simple as that. If you can just have a good conversation with a woman and not think outside of the conversation, don't be thinking, oh, I need to have sex with her. I need to be talking to her in a flirtatious manner. I need to have her begging for me and da da da, like all type of outrageous things. Don't be thinking outside of the box, bro. Just keep it simple. Just be a dude with good energy that's present in the moment that woman can have a conversation with and vibe with. If you keep it as simple as that, bro, women will attract towards you naturally, you know, and they'll start to come towards you naturally when you carry good energy. So that's something you should aim for, bro. With confidence, you can stay present. You listen to what she says, you respond naturally, you joke around, you disagree respectfully, and let the conversation develop without trying to manufacture the perfect response. Perfect response. Pay attention to that last part. Perfect response. When you a nigga that lack confidence, bro, you're always going to be thinking you need to do the perfect thing, the best thing. What's the best thing to say? Oh, what do I say? What do I do? You know? So when you lack confidence, bro, you have to realize it's just your mind. That's it. It's not even a woman per se. It's not even a girl. It's you. It's you trying to manufacture the perfect thing to say, oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I got to say this. So she reacts this way. No. When you have confidence within yourself, you realize that standing in the present moment when it comes to talking to women is the best thing, because it gives you an opportunity to realize what's going on in front of you. You know, and then you can project your energy in the right way. Dudes who lack confidence, they're not projecting their energy in the right way. You know, they're walking on eggshells. You know, they walking on eggshells trying to say the right thing so the girl can react a certain way and, you know, and not make it so the girl doesn't like them anymore. You're just walking on eggshells, you know. So when you lack confidence, you're just trying to people please. And that's a big problem with a lot of dudes, bro. Big problem right there. And when you have self-esteem, rejection doesn't control you. If she isn't interested, you can accept it without thinking something must be wrong with you. Ironically, that often makes you more attractive because you're not desperately chasing approval. And that's facts. Women, you'll never see this anywhere else in real life if you don't get outside and get the having interactions with girls and getting rejected. You know, you might see it on YouTube where a girl reject a dude, or Pop a Balloon episode where they reject a dude and they change their mind or something like that. But you as a man, you have to be able to handle rejection, bro. That's why having a high self-esteem goes very well with being interactive with women. You know, when you have a high self-esteem, it doesn't matter what this woman does or says, you don't feel less of yourself, and you handle rejection and you handle anything that she sends your way, any type of energy or bitterness or whatever the case may be, getting sent out, projected towards your way, then you handle it with grace. You handle it with present. You know, you handle it in the moment. You don't say, oh, damn, there's something wrong with me. Damn, I must be ugly. Damn, I must be, you feel me? Like most dudes, they fall into that loophole. They get the feeling insecure because of what women do and say, bro. But in reality, bro, you got to realize it doesn't matter what a woman does or says. That does not determine your self-worth. You as a man determine your self-worth. That's why having a high self-esteem as a man is very vital. You know, when it comes to just being a man in general, not even just talking to women, bro. You want to have a high self-esteem for yourself. And the reason I say this is because I've been in predicaments where I had a low self-esteem and I noticed like it wasn't even me. You know, it was the woman that made me feel that way. You know, they made me feel like I had a low self-esteem. I didn't genuinely believe those thoughts about myself. I didn't genuinely believe I was an ugly dude, or you feel me, whatever women say about me. I didn't believe that. It was just the fact that they said it to me, you know. I know me personally didn't believe it, but it's the fact that they said it, you know. And when you have a low self-esteem, you observe the thoughts and words of others easily. Anything somebody say towards you negatively or whatever the case may be, it could easily impact you, you know. So that's a big one right there, you know. And when you don't chase approval from women, they end up spinning the block. They end up wanting to talk to you anyway. Like, dang, you know, like, oh, he kind of cool. Like, you feel me? Or he kind of he respectful. He handle it with grace. He mature. It take a lot of guts, bro, to go up to a woman, get rejected, and say, you know what, I'm good. I'm not finna crash out. A lot of dudes can't handle rejection, bro. A lot of dudes can't handle rejection. A lot of dudes, when they get rejected, it's crazy scenarios I done heard. Like, it's dudes that get rejected and be putting their hands on women and all type of crazy stuff, bro. A lot of dudes cannot handle rejection. But if you're a guy that has a high self-esteem, you can handle rejection, bro. And that's why having a high self-esteem is vital when it comes to talking to females, And the biggest mindset shift, don't think, how do I make her like me? Do not think that. That is a simp mindset. That is a simp mindset. If you still operating from a mindset of how do I make her like me, when you talk to girls, you need to take a break and fix yourself. Real talk, gang. You need to take a break from communicating with women and really lock in, bro. Because if you thinking on a weak ass mindset like that, if you thinking from a weak ass standpoint like that, you gotta change your whole mind, bro. You gotta change your whole subconscious programming, bro. You should not be thinking like that. You should not be thinking, how do I make her like me? No. You should not be thinking that. Instead, you should think, I'm going to be myself, get to know her, and see whether we actually connect. And that might sound cliche. It might sound, oh, well, they always say that, just be yourself. And no, you should really be yourself. And here's why, bro. Listen. Let's make up a scenario, right? Let's take guy A. Guy A talking to a woman, right? And he is a guy that has low self-esteem. He got low confidence. And this girl he's talking to, he's trying to get her to like him. He's trying to do everything that it is in his power that he can do to make her realize his worth. He's going out of his way to plan dates with her. He's talking to her very nicely. He's trying not to seem like a lame in her eyes. He's lying about what he does and what type of guy he is to make her like him more. And let's say guy A and the girl, they finally get up with each other, and he ends up exposing himself. She finds out he's not the guy he's been lying to be this whole time. Guess what's going to happen? Once a woman finds out you not that dude that you've been pretending to be, guess what happens, bro? She's going to bash out on you, bro. So anyway, like, bro, it's a lose-lose situation anyway. If you lying and trying to make yourself be something you not, and you not a guy that's actually building up your confidence and actually being yourself when it comes to talking to women, then you're just wasting your own time, gang. Because once she find out who you really is, you're going to be at a loss and at a disadvantage anyway. She going to stop fucking with you, and she might curse you out and expose you on social media, bro. It's like, it's a lose-lose situation. Then you take guy B, for example. Guy B, it's a girl he's talking to, and he's completely honest with this girl, like off rip. He's not coming with no bullshit stories. He's not lying about who he is. He just being his authentic self. And then, the girl, she end up attracting towards him because he's real with her. See what I'm saying? She end up being attracted to him, and she didn't even know she was attracted to him. This dude could be a nerd, and she end up liking him. He could be a guy that read books, but guess what? He came with the type of energy that was just real and authentic. He didn't come trying to, walk on eggshells, because guess what? That's what most dudes do. Most dudes, when they talk to girls, bro, the average dude, when they talking to a girl, they lying. First thing first, like, dudes is lying. They making shit up. They trying to make themselves sound cool. They trying to come off as, they trying to big themselves up. They trying to make it seem like the perfect guy for the girl. And that's the complete opposite of what you want to do, because all she gonna do is categorize you like the other niggas. You got to realize women talk to a plethora of niggas on a weekly average. If you just coming up in the first 30 seconds or first day of the conversation, and you just saying stuff that implies you're trying to make yourself look good, you just lying about stuff, and you saying stuff that you think that she might like, bro, she's going to read that. Women are smart. They're going to read that off rip, and she going to lose interest in you. Now, if she really attracted to you, then that's that. But most women, they gonna lose interest on your ass. You know, the older you get, the more stricter it becomes. You gotta be like really on your shit mentally too. You know, so if you come in the inbox saying like crazy shit, just trying to, you know, da 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 da, this, that, and the third. Now, most hoes, they gonna go. Now, it is what it is. Teach his own. But women with some intellectual, man, like, you know, they gonna peep game. They gonna, oh, this nigga corny. He think he got a fool, or he think he finna say this and that, so he can impress me. You gonna turn off, and she gonna stop texting you back. Then it's gonna get to a point where you're gonna get blocked, because most niggas gonna keep repeatedly texting a girl. You know, most niggas with low self-esteem, they be talking to themselves in girls' inboxes, all type of shit, bro. That's not good, bro. But let's get back to the notes, man. Back to the notes. Now you're not performing to her. Remember what I just said. Think, instead of thinking, how do I make her like me? Think, I'm going to be myself, get to know her, and see whether we actually connect. Now, at that point, you're not performing for her. You're participating with her. Don't let that go over y'all head. You participating with her, you know? You're actually trying to see if y'all vibe is right, you know? You being your authentic self, you coming off with good energy, and you trying to see if y'all vibe actually connect, if y'all actually match, you know? And this is a good thing, because this can help you not waste your time. See, dudes that bullshit and that lie and then try to make a girl like them, they going out their way to lie and say all this and this and that. And then guess what? The girl can play into that role too. She can play right into that role. She can act like she like you because you saying all this good shit. And then guess what? In the end, both of y'all split ways. Y'all wasted each other time and X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? You probably didn't even hit or none of that. And she probably went on a date with you. Like, this shit happened to niggas in real time. You probably then took her on a date. You was trying to prove that you a good dude. You know what I'm saying? You was trying to make her like you, you know, and X, Y, and Z. And you done took her on a date and you ain't even get what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, I'd rather be myself and see if we gonna match. I'm not coming off rip trying to say stuff that's gonna make her like me. You know what I'm saying? Because I get it, bro. I already know the game. Most dudes, they doing that off rip because they thirsty for some buns, bro. They thirsty for some buns, bro. But in reality, bro, when you relax and play it cool, you can't lose. Now, listen, bro. Another thing, another point. This a banger right here, man. I'll drop this banger for y'all. Man. Y'all my niggas, man. You hear me? I'm very passionate about this, man. Another thing is, confidence doesn't mean being loud, bro. It don't mean being dominant. It don't mean being cocky or pretending you don't care. A quiet dude who makes comfortable eye contact, speaks clearly, listens, smiles, and isn't afraid to express himself can come across as extremely confident. This is a good fucking point, gang. Most dudes think confidence and think, oh, I gotta be, no, bro, no. Confidence don't mean that. It don't mean that, bro. Confidence is just presence. That's really what it is. In simplest of terms, being confident is just being present, knowing how to direct your energy, knowing how to react and how to articulate yourself well as a human being. That's what confidence is, in my opinion. You know, it's just knowing how to articulate yourself, you know. In this scenario, we talking about women. If you want to be a confident dude, you should know how to articulate yourself to women. You should know how to listen. You should know how to speak clearly, project your voice. You should know how to have a good sense of humor. You know, you should be able to smile, show off your teeth. You feel me? You should be able to joke with her. You know, listen. I already said that. Eye contact, that's a big one. Eye contact is a big one, bro. That's everything. That's everything when it comes to women. Everything. When I say everything, that is everything, bro. That's literally the whole nine. Like, that's everything. You know, that's everything. Because a lot of guys, this dude that's grown men can't even keep eye contact with a woman. Can't even look them in the eye when they talking or when they speaking. You know, and that's bad, bro. That is bad. That is bad. As a man, that is bad. You should never be a dude that can't look a woman in the eye. They say a lot about you. If you can't look a woman in the eye, that says a lot about your confidence and your self-esteem. For real. So you got to be able to do that, bro. Yeah, bro. Like, you don't have to be extremely loud and out of your body to be confident as a man, bro. You just got to keep your eye contact with women when you talking to them. You know, speak clearly. That's another one. Speak clearly. Speak confidently. Calm your nervous system down, twin. Speak clearly. You know, speak confidently and keep your eye contact with them. You know, keep your eye contact with them and just be present in the moment, man. Loosen up. Be present. Crack a little joke. You see what I'm saying? Read her body language. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. They go a long way, bro. That go a long way for real, gang. Go a long way for real. And another thing, bro. Physical appearance can get a girl's attention, but confidence and self-esteem determine a lot of what happens after you got their attention. So a nigga that's tall, got dreads and got tattoos and dressed nice and flashy and da 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 and this, it could be a nigga like that got all the attributes that women look for, but guess what? He ain't got no game. Nigga ain't got no game. Nigga ain't confident. You know, he probably a type nigga that think outside of himself. He comparing himself to other niggas, or you know what I'm saying, or his game would be just being everything that women like, you know, just dressing and looking apart. But whole time this nigga ain't got no mouthpiece. He don't got no good energy, you know, all that stuff. So it's like, bro, physical appearance is one thing. That goes a long way though. Like, let's not neglect that. That go a long way. That go a very long way. You know, when it comes to getting women, you gotta look good. You know, my preference would be to get in the gym, get your physique right, get you some tattoos, dress nicely, have some smell good, some cologne, expensive cologne, baccarat. If you can't get expensive, start what you can get. And yeah, man, and just have a lot of stuff about you that just, you know, women can just be like, damn, okay, you know, like impress them. Basically, you want to woo the women. You want to woo them just off physical appearance, you know, and physical stuff. Like, they could smell your cologne, they could see you got a haircut, you know, they see you keep yourself up nice, you know, you feel what I'm saying? You got some tattoos, you know what I'm saying? You in shape, you see what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that, that's what get their attention. That's what make it easier, you know? Now, if you a nigga that's like, not to be like bogus or nothing, but we real, bro. We family here, gang. If you a nigga that's not the ideal type of guy, like, you not tall, you short, you know, you probably got a low cut or something like that, or you probably ain't got nothing with your hair going for real. You ain't got no tattoos or nothing. Bro, if you not the ideal guy, bro, you can still get women, bro. I literally just explained it. Physical appearance can get the girl's attention. But in your case, if you're not an ideal type of guy, like if you short, if you know, you're not the most handsome guy, I guess, or whatever the case may be to women, and you ain't got no dreads or whatever, you know, women like, bro, you can still get you might not get their attention. Let me rephrase that. You ain't gonna get their attention, but guess what? Confidence and self-esteem, that goes hand in hand. So you can approach the girl, even though she wasn't looking at you, even though, you see what I'm saying, you ain't get her attention for real. The guy that probably got her attention is the dude that fit her type, you know, whatever her type is, he got her attention. Let's say you didn't get her attention. Let's say you a guy that she really not interested in. You can still get her. You can still get her just by being a confident guy, you know. Even if she reject you, you can be a guy that walk up to her like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I just thought you looked good. You know, what's your name? Da 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 da. How old are you? Inquiries and stuff. And then you ask her like, and I was just wondering, like, can I get your Instagram or something? And boom, chop it up. If she say no, bro, okay, totally cool. Handle it like a P, bro. Handle it like a P. Because I'm gonna be real, bro. The thing about it is, women don't even have a type. Women don't have a type, bro. They all convinced that they do, but they really don't. You know, they only like what social media in the world tell them to like. Women did not like dreadhead niggas until the year of 2020, 2021. Dreadhead niggas was not the type, bro. Ever since Sexy Red she came out and started writing about dreadheads, and all these other female rappers talking about dreadheads and shake your dread, all this shit, bro. Dreadheads were not even women's type. Women listen to the radio. They rely on female artists to tell them they type. That's how you know women don't even got a fucking type. They just go off energy. They just go off what they attracted to. It's girls that admit to fucking ugly niggas. Like, real talk, bro. Women don't have a type, bro. That's what you gotta realize. Women don't got a type, gang. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you understand that, that'll make your confidence level way higher. Because once you realize, bro, you can get some play from any woman, bro. Any woman, as long as you walk around like you that guy. And I ain't saying like you got to be loud and absurd about it. Just knowing like it's a quiet inner voice in your head that say like, yeah, I'm that guy, bro. That's repeatedly telling you like, hey, you that guy, you that guy, you that guy. You can do anything you put your mind to. You that guy. That's the voice you want to listen to in your head, bro. For real, for real. The goal isn't getting to a point where you're never nervous around women. It's getting to where you can feel nervous and still be yourself. That's a good point to end this video off on, man. And basically what I mean by that is you can be nervous. It's okay to feel nervous. It's an emotion. It's okay to feel like that. You know, it's emotion. You a man, bro. You know, let's normalize this too as man. Let's stop normalizing not being able to feel our emotions that we feel. It's okay to be nervous around a pretty girl. It's dudes that say it all the time. Like if y'all watch these YouTuber dudes that be talking to girls that do girl content, they'll tell a girl like, yeah, I'm nervous a little bit. Ooh. And the girl be thinking they playing, but whole time the nigga really nervous. Niggas really be nervous, bro. Like niggas ain't lying. Like then like this shit is real, bro. It's okay to be nervous. But guess what? It's okay to be yourself while you nervous. It's okay to express yourself and articulate yourself the way you mean to while you nervous, you know, because most dudes, they get nervous, bro. They get around women, they get nervous and they thinking they a failure. They not supposed to be nervous, you know, and that's not good, bro. That's not good at all, gang. You got to realize it's deeper than just talking to women. Your first time talking to a stranger, bro, is going to be a little like, you know, it's a new interaction. You learning about somebody. It's somebody you never seen before in your life, never met. It's a new interaction. So of course it's going to be like, damn, like, you know, what this person on type stuff. So it's like, you got to realize that, bro, you should not be trying to get to a point where you feel like, oh shit, yeah, I don't got to be nervous around girls. I'm supposed to be nervous, bro. It's okay to be nervous, bro. Now, should you be nervous all the time? No. But every once in a while, like if you see some bad shit, some fine shit, okay, cool. Like it's okay to be nervous, bro. Like that's normal, bro. But when it comes to just talking to a girl on a regular daily schedule, like you just talking to girls, interacting all the time, bro, you ain't got to be nervous all the time, bro. You can express yourself and come off as confident and as a chill guy and be good. And that's that simple, bro. But yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. It's your boy Ron Glow. We'll catch y'all next video, man. We gone.